Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Phins Tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Phins Tailgate's where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Phins Tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Phins Tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL-wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Phins Tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait, it's your fate. This is the Phins Tailgate, now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.
What it is, what it do, welcome to another episode of the Phins Tailgate with your host El Capitan. Tonight on the tailgate party that never seems to stop. We got a special guest host coming in here. Gonna be running just a few minutes late. I'm gonna get it popping. We'll have a beautiful introduction to the man, the myth, the legend, TD Phins Talk when he's able to get here. Just running a few minutes behind, everybody. Calm down. We're all filled with family and lives and all this stuff, so no worries. Hit the like button, everyone. Shout out to everybody who got up in here early and often. Looking at Sean up in here. What's up, Sean? John Featherland telling everybody to hit the like button. Ms. Relentless in here. Hello, Ms. Relentless. Raph, what's going on, Raph? Hit the like button. Scott Jackson. Suicide Hotline, a.k.a. Michael K. Scott Jackson in here. Daniel Berry Sports getting clipped by Shake Money. Somebody important, the homie Mondo. What's up, Mondo? There goes Shake right there. Powerhouse. Ain't seen you in a minute. What's good, dog? Salute. Who else up in here? Iceman in here. What's going on, Iceman? Hit the like button. Unknown True Fin fan says, it is truly the most casual Dolphin fan of all time will be here? Well, we'll see. We will see. Fins Rule, what's going on? How's it going? I just know Batman's pulling up. Yeah. Nah, he ain't pulling. F Money, what's going on? What's going on? Hit the like button. So while we wait, I got the homie in the backstage, Ali, coming at you. Ali,
what it
TD
is?
will be here. TD will be here in, I don't know, a few minutes or so. Give him some time. But, kind of a busy day, right? Dolphins close practice to the outsiders. And from what I understand, not an eventful practice, just a lot of walkthroughs, some other stuff, and, all that good stuff, right? But big-time rumors hit the Miami Dolphins community. Rumors that the Dolphins are signing a corner, that it's going to be named Asante Samuel Jr. is what they were saying. And that was uproar in the buildings, as well as other rumors sprinkling all out. I was told that they were looking at somebody projected to potentially be a practice squad guy from the Ravens. There was some other people that were saying some other things on other players that might be coming up. A lot of moving around. Well, as the dust settles, the Dolphins do end up getting a CB into the building, but not anyone said all day long. His former USFL, former third-round pick for the Vikings, Cameron Dantzler, and don't really know a lot about him, honestly. This cornerback room is suspect, to say the least. And, if you ask the coaches about it, yesterday Mike McDaniel was asked about it. He was a tad bit salty. And today when Weaver was asked about it, it was kind of the same sentiment that you all are more worried about it than we are. We've kind of heard this tone from management before. We've heard this before, that us fans, the media department, we're looking at the cornerback room and we're seeing an absolute watch out, right? Like, I mean, it's the weakest room on the defense by far. And yeah, okay, you could say, oh, you can't have everything, yada, 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 but I can't watch as many cornerbacks go down with injury as I have this season while trading your best corner away in Ramsey. And okay, I get it. Ramsey, he's the big bad wolf. I hate Ramsey, blah, 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 whatever. But I mean, it's just, Ali, if cornerback rears its ugly head costing the Dolphins game, what do they think is going to happen? That the fans are just going to be like, oh, no, they're literally waiting to pounce. They're waiting to, put, insert foot, insert mouth here. Like,
look, I'm going to tell you straight up. I've been telling you guys from day one on this channel, when you first invited me to be a part of the Phins Tailgate, I've been telling you Chris Greer and company want to play Moneyball. They don't really want to have to pay certain players, right? They don't want to. And to be 100% honest, that's what they're doing here. They are so focused in on making this work that they've gone as far as telling, as you said, you're more worried about it than we are. That's basically telling the fan base that they know more about football than we do. That's basically what they're saying.
And technically, they're the literal paid professionals. So I guess you could say that. To me, though, it's kind of more along the lines of they're taking it personal. And I get it, right? These are their guys. They're in practice fighting for them. They're, they're going to battle with them. They're close to them. They've been in the building, all of that stuff. And I understand that there's personal feelings involved, but that's really where I have contention with it. Are we talking about their personal feelings or what is the reality of the situation? Because I personally have liked tons of people that I know aren't good on the football field. There's the underdog you're rooting for, but as a practice for a football team, we're not trying to build an underdog football team. We're trying to build a top dog football team. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is just very particular. Like, everybody can see that the cornerback room is such an issue. They can see that the secondary really isn't up where we need it to be, and they're refusing. They're really refusing to do anything about it. They will bring in every dollar dime player they can find off the street, to fill the need, and not actually do what they should do about it. So it's just very odd.
I mean, I get it, right? Like, finances are finances. You're cap strong and this stuff, but it's like going out to dinner 5 nights a week when money's tight on bills. Like, go to the grocery store and get what you need to survive. And I use that analogy because pass rusher is not a concern, but that didn't stop him from signing Matthew Judon, someone we know. Yeah, he's a little long in the tooth, but if you applied the same Matthew Judon acquiring to this team, that like whatever you want to measure its impactfulness, if they would have made that same move in the cornerback room, everyone would be applauding. They'd be like, "Oh, Chris Greer's cooking," you know. And listen, he very well may. That might end up happening, but until then, we're waiting. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Hold on. TD's saying the link isn't working. Give me a second. Let me try to regenerate the link. Let me try it again. Let's see. Give me a second, Ollie.
No worries. Listen, everyone hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on the notification bell. El Cap will be back with our special guest. For me, on the subject we were just talking about, though, for me, it really just comes down to the fact that they're really forcing what they're trying to do to work. They're banking everything on it to make sure it works. I understand the Judon move. I mean, if you guys remember earlier on in the offseason during free agency, we were trying to bring Joey Bosa here for a hot minute.
That's true.
Like 2 days trying to bring him here, right? And you got Matthew Judon here instead. And I'll argue that, to be honest, I kind of like Matthew Judon better, to be honest, than Joey Bosa. If it was Nick Bosa, that'd be a different story. But this is Matthew Judon. I'll take it. But ultimately, it's just, I don't know. It's going to be really tough to see what happens to our team. You can see the weakness, and if we can see it, everybody can see it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, listen, we can see it as people who are astute fans of the team and stuff like that. But
yeah,
game planning, it's the obvious, and they're handling it like we've seen them handle the obvious before. You don't know, we're the paid professionals. And that very well might bear fruit one day, but it hasn't yet. And then, I mean, it just continues to be a problem. So I really don't know. Hey, Doll.
Hey, Doll. How you doing? Furthermore, I mean, not only do we have issues at corner now, according to the pundits, we have issues at running back. I was seeing something that Devon Achane might not be available till week 3.
Well, I don't know about week 3, but maybe week 2. You know what I'm saying? There might be. They're saying Devon Achane could be out a few weeks.
Yeah,
which isn't good. If he's out 3 weeks, a month, whatever, that's not going to be great, honestly. So that is not good. So we need to, I don't know. We need to figure something out. I love Ollie Gordon. That's RB1 as far as I'm concerned. But, in a perfect world, you were hoping to have this 1-2 punch with Achane and Ollie and or Wright. But are the Dolphins just going to be, the two guys? I don't know.
I don't know, bro. I mean, I can trust Ollie Gordon as RB1. But if you had an Alexander Madison here, that would have sounded a lot better. I mean, than where we're at right now. Now you just have Wright and Gordon. I'm sorry, but I don't have any faith in Wright right now. That's my problem.
That's Wright's problem. That's the wrong problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's on him. Yeah, he's got to do something. The kid keeps putting the ball on the ground. Like, there's a million no-nos in the NFL, and fumbling for running backs, dude, that's the worst. Well, without waiting any longer, what's up, Color? We're gonna go ahead and bring up our special guest. A little bit of technical difficulties up here in the beginning of the program, but let's not waste any more time. TD, what is happening, my brother? What's going on, bro?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Listen, man, I enjoy coming on the Phins Tailgate always. I couldn't miss this for the world. I am under the weather. I
Oh,
ain't been
buddy.
feeling very well. So I kind of canceled my whole schedule today, but this is one that I knew I just couldn't cancel. So
Well,
I'm happy to
well,
be
we
here.
won't keep you too long, man. I really appreciate you coming by. If you needed, we could have moved it, but I appreciate you toughing through, man. Thank you so much. First off, I want to say, man, many blessings and successes to all the hard work you've been doing, dude. With the
Thank you.
round table, with the other boys, with the Dolphins collective over there on the Bleacher Report thing. I mean, you've been hustling and bustling, bro, and the fruits
Right.
of your labor are really showing, man. And I got to be honest, I'm happy for you, man. I'm super stoked. It's so great to see one of our own, hard work paying off, blazing the trail for the community. And, get that, I think you're the only person in Dolphins Twitter that has more haters than me. And honestly, I tip my hat to you, sir, because I do a pretty good job. They hate you. They don't like you on Twitter, but I tip my hat to you.
It's brutal, man. Yeah, man, I get a lot of flack, but it's all good, man. At the end of the day, I just do me because I could do me better than anybody else. So I don't worry about all the hate. I actually entertain it though. People like, well,
Oh, I
man,
entertain it.
yeah, I actually enjoy entertaining it, to be quite honest with you. It's just a lot of bad perceptions in the community, especially about me, and people don't even know me. So they're hearing it third person from other people who hate on me. So it's all good. It's part of the atmosphere we're in.
That part of that and part of the show, right? There's TD, and then I try to tell people all the time who I am on here is not who I'm at the stadiums. Just it's completely different than who I'm at the dinner table with my wife and kids. And people got to have a little bit more fun. But let's.
This is the TD we're having on.
Yeah,
tonight?
yeah. This is the TD we got on tonight,
This
Color.
is the TV.
I thought we were gonna get this talk to the field mascot.
Oh wow, Color, man.
God, I'm sorry, bro.
Color coming in trolling, boy. Look at that.
It's all good. It's all good.
I echo that sentiment, TD. I don't think I've met anybody kinder, more generous than this individual in the Dolphin community since I've been on YouTube. I just had to put that out there.
Appreciate that, brother.
Well, TD, let's get right into it, brother. Some news today. We thought it was going to be a slow day. No fans at practice. Kind of a walkthrough type of practice. Not a lot of hitting and stuff. Very vanilla, from what I understand, from the beat writers coming out of the building. But then we got a couple announcements. We got rid of the punter. Bailey is the guy now, which kind of seen that coming just on his performance, plus a little bit that he's done here. And then there was these rumors about Asante Samuel Jr. is going to be signed with the Dolphins. And lo and behold, the Dolphins do end up signing a DB, but not the DB we all thought. Some USFL guy, ex-third round pick from the Vikings. What's his name? Cameron Dantzler.
A
guy, right? Just a dude. Like, what are we doing here? What's going on? Weaver's kind of backing up what Mike McDaniel said the other day.
Yeah,
and what I'm picking up, what they're putting down is we're worrying about it way more than they are.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
We've heard that
before. But yeah, man, they're just playing the PR role at the end of the day. Don't want to down any of the current corners on the roster, but these guys aren't working out. They're not playing at a level that makes Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer feel comfortable about going into this season. So that's why they're trying to bring in any and everybody, work them out, see if they got something in whoever they can. This is just the beginning. I could see a lot more desperation over the next 2 weeks when they start cutting the rosters down, trying to get players that's been cut and take a look at them. I know Chris Greer is working those phones, calling his buddy GMs. Hey, what y'all got a corner y'all gonna release that I should look at, and going through the process. But yeah, man, Cap, I'm saying, listen, this team, we already know what time it is. We can keep on putting new lipstick on a pig and keep on doing however we want to do it. We can't win like this, continuing to do the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. And obviously those people know that that's insanity, But that's what we're doing. We've been talking about this for a long time now. They can keep on building the team and getting rid of the best players and then bringing in some complementary players. We're fooling ourselves as Dolphin fans when we think that we're going to be as good as 2023. That's the best roster we were going to have. And people need to understand that. Right now, I don't mean to jump all over the place, but I have major concerns with this team, and primarily nobody's talking about. I mean, I talk with a few guys behind closed doors about what's going on, but these injuries are bigger concerns than people know. The A-chain injury, that's actually a bigger concern. He's not going to be fully healthy week 1. He'll be able to go week 1, but he don't want to tear that Achilles. Tyreek's injury, again, he may be ready week 1, but you can aggravate that. Chot Robinson, that situation. There's a lot of guys in this building right now banged up that have injuries that will allow them to play week 1, but they face the risk of re-aggravation that could be really bad. I'll just put it like that.
Well, so I have a question about that, if you don't mind me interrupting, guys.
No, go ahead.
TD, you've been on this from probably since I've known you about, this consistent problem with injuries that we have in our organization. And you took a little flack for it because somebody, we all know that somebody thought you were coming at them personally, and all you were doing was stringing it along with a long line of, issues when you were basically asking the question about what's going on with our training staff. And you have been consistently asking that question and raising, at least asking it. You're not blaming nobody. You're just saying, hey, we have an exorbitant amount of injuries per capita compared to the rest of the league, seems like. Maybe we don't. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but
it's high. It's high.
So have you gotten any clarity further on that since it was finally taken off one individual, and now we can see, hey, Jalen Phillips, Achan, now starting to get, seems like every beginning of every year he's going to go down a couple games. You know what I mean? Like, should we be asking that question more?
You'd be wasting your time. They at the end of the day, they remember 10 plus years ago, we brought this same issue up. And they supposedly got a new medical staff and all type of different stuff.
They hired a bunch of guys from soccer and stuff, bunch of sports medicine,
sports science guys. And all of that. Yeah. So they feel like they've already addressed it. And the years leading after that, you could actually say that it may have been addressed. The problem is I just particularly think that Chris Greer he's scrambling right now. It's hard to go sign in free agency or trade for a player who isn't injured because you're going to pay the premium, the big bucks. This isn't 2023 anymore. Everything you do has to be bargain shopping. So the best bargain shopping you can do in the landscape right now are players coming off of injury. So you're going to get a lot of that. Retired players, you're going to get some of that. So, but the more you exercise that, especially players coming fresh off of injury, you give your team a higher risk of dealing with injuries throughout the season. Like half the team has a higher probability of re-aggravating an injury from last year. And then the other half, you can say 20% of them are going to get hurt because that's just the natural progression of the game. So you're setting your team up for that.
Our favorite resident Bills fan around here, Michael K, is asking a question that kind of leads to a follow-up real quickly. Why isn't it affecting other teams? And again, is this just a case of the same the same issue we have overall in Miami, where you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink? So we can set up a whole, training regimen for these guys to follow and all that. And if they're not stretching properly before practice, or they're not, disciplining themselves and adhering to whatever the Dolphins trainers have laid out for them, then there's nothing really the training staff can do at that point,
Yeah, but to who was that? Who asked the question again?
Oh, Michael
K in
and why,
chat.
Yeah.
why does it really affect other teams?
Well, Michael, injuries affect every team, but there's levels to this. So if you got a 53-man roster and the least injured team in the entire NFL may have 6 injuries the whole season, which is a blessing, right? Whether it's long-term or short-term. But then you got the Miami Dolphins who may be dealing with 15, whether it's long-term or short-term. So injuries affect every team, but there's levels to it. Why is it more prevalent for the Dolphins? Because once again, you continue to invest in players coming off of injury and reinvesting in them. So we talk about Ramsey being gone and this and that and all of that, but at the same token, you have Chubb coming back fresh off of injury, Phillips coming back off of injury, A-Chain, in and out of it, Austin Jackson dealing with injuries. You hire Davis, the right guard, fresh off of injury, and I could keep going, but it starts to pile up. So in week 4, if Davis goes down, oh my gosh, why does this happen to us and no one else? Well, you risk a higher probability of some of those guys potentially going down. And I said that last year with Phillips, because isn't this 2 times in a row for Phillips?
Yeah.
Last year,
even his backup goes and breaks his knee.
But last year around this exact time, people were like, yeah, but Phillips is coming back. I said, you see, you guys count the eggs in the basket before you won't even allow it to hatch first. Like, let's make sure that it hatches first. Make sure it's not a stalemate egg or something like that, right? Because there was a chance he would re-injure himself. There was a chance Chubb would re-injure himself. Chubb could come back this year. Remember, you didn't see him last year. So that could happen to him. You don't know, but the probability for guys who have been injured, I don't care if it's a 10% greater chance of re-injury. So our team is riddled with that in key spots. Tua, are we going to ignore the elephant in the room for this subject?
No, and that's really kind of where you can kind of put the antithesis on everything, is that the guy at the top is getting injured.
I know Troopman wasn't ignoring him.
Here's the thing. I got to imagine, a lot of these soft tissue injuries, a lot of these muscle injuries are a lot in with, dehydration, overstrenuizing the muscle. We know this to be the case in hot weather. And in Miami, you got to think, hydration, all this stuff. And they bring all this sports medicine and they're taking on these fluids, doing all this stuff. Meanwhile, back in the day when the guys were going out for a couple of beers every night and kind of, playing 2-a-days and not getting water all day from Shula, didn't seem like they were sustaining these types of
living like Floridians.
Yeah, living like, kind of like how we do here in Florida. You work hard, play hard, baby.
Can I ask a question, if you don't mind, in regards
please,
to the injuries? So I did a show, I want to say it was either last year or the year before, on Broken Takes, in regards to the change in the rules in the NFL, like how players are to tackle, how they line up, what they're allowed to do, and how it could create more injuries in the long run. Do you think any of that has to do with a lot of these injuries, not necessarily our team, but like the rest of the league is experiencing? Because not outside of our team, there are other teams that have had major injuries this season, specifically the preseason, compared to previous.
The Lions last year had more injuries than anyone.
Mm-hmm. And look where they went.
Yeah, and that's the point. Like, I don't like, people care too much about the regular season these days when you're supposed to have a contender. The regular season really, to me, matters for those who are hoping, like, are we contenders? But think about the teams that don't worry about that. The Baltimores, the Kansas Cities, the Eagles, now the Commanders, but Buffalo Bills, Pittsburgh Steelers, those teams that already know they're contenders, right? They know that they're going to rattle off 11 plus wins every year. They're not concerned about if they can get it or not. They know that they're pretty much going to do it, right? So Detroit knew that they were going to rattle off a lot of wins, injuries or not. See, that's one of the keys you got to think about. Injuries or not, Detroit still knew that they were going to rattle off a lot of wins.
Mm.
We get injured. Oh my gosh. So that's a difference. I say that to say this. It really matters in the playoffs because now you're playing all the high competitive teams. Now injuries matter. And I'm not talking about Dolphins versus Kansas City Chiefs injuries. I still think that the team we have had enough. They just aren't good enough. And at the end of the day, when those good teams play those good teams in those moments, injuries can stack up if you have a lot of them, but it's going to be harder because you're playing the best teams. I always bring up the Chiefs in this. They had two of the worst left tackles in the entire NFL. And some of their main guys in their secondary got hurt 2 years ago, and they literally won the Super Bowl. So when we use our offensive line excuses, when we use injury excuses, it all comes down to, for me, and this is what nobody wants to hear, you have to set the stage with that main guy who's going to be feared in this league, and they can overcome all those things. They can overcome the injuries. They can overcome the bad O-line. Now, do they need the help? Yeah. Is it guaranteed that they're going to win a Super Bowl? No. But you still have a fighter's chance.
Well, TD, real quick, great point, because here's the analogy. Back when we were watching Brady destroy the entire league for 22 years, whenever the Patriots were decimated with injuries and we had to play him or somebody else had to play or whatever, did you feel any less fearful of Tom Brady and what they were going to do to you?
Never.
No.
Still,
Tom Brady, he had a rotation of wide receivers. Nobody even knew who they were. A lot of
everybody was still like, nobody even like with like you're saying with the Chiefs. You're still facing Patrick Mahomes. You're still going into a game where the entire world expects you to get dogged on by Patrick Mahomes.
You still know you have a chance with a guy like Tom Brady and stuff, because here's why. Well, another thing nobody talks about, the impact he makes at the line of scrimmage in a game can alleviate so much. Okay, my right tackle and my left tackle sucks. All right, I know what the defense is in. I know where I want to go with the ball here. All right, I know I don't need that receiver. Go ahead, come on in. I need you to chip him. All right, like you see the orchestration happening.
Yeah.
This
well,
is
it also
that's the next level. This is what we don't get. You're not going to get.
These are the guys that you're talking about here that invoke not just with their abilities, but everyone around them recognizes it and they get up. They rise above themselves. That's what true leaders do.
Yeah.
And for so long, us Dolphin fans forever, we're like, we need to find another Marino, because that was the last time we had one of those types of guys that could lead, that people would follow, that you did believe. We used to be that organization that you were just talking about with the Baltimores and everything like that, that we knew we were winning 10, 11 games going to the playoffs. We weren't asking if we were going to the playoffs. We were wondering how healthy we're going to be when we get there. Can we get home field advantage? This is going to be our year to go to the Super Bowl. Now, over this couple decades, we've now lowered our standards to, can we just put together a squad and fall into the playoffs and make some noise and really be that shake up once in a year kind of nonsense? Our standards have completely changed all the way around. And, you know, I heard you on the Dolphins Collective, and I know Omar caught some flack about it because he kind of said the quiet part out loud. Something that, you know, he broke the fourth wall a little bit there, talking about this team.
If he did that more often.
Well, he can't, because he's got a job to do.
I feel like I baited him into that. So
you did. I saw that, and it was good.
That's the point. Like, let's open this up. Let's talk the truth. But he told the truth. So
he did, and I get it. You know, he's got to, you know, do his thing. But the reality is, I think we can all feel it, TD, in the air. Something is coming. And it in the end of an era is on the precipice with everyone from top to bottom. It looks like people are grabbing at straws, holding on for dear life. They haven't turned on each other just yet in the back office, and I don't think they will. I think they're all going to go down with the ship, you know, like this in the Titanic. And they're making up these excuses. To me, I don't know. It's almost like they're just holding off. It's like a project's coming to an end. Can we just squeeze out another year or two of this It just feels like an inevitable calamity.
Like the last week of school when you're like,
yeah,
or homework, you know what I mean,
or whatever. I don't know. You can use a million analogies.
They're in the most impossible situation, and what do I mean by that? When Ross extended them a year, they closed the checkbook. People need to understand this. If a deal it doesn't extend past this year, the checkbook's closed on it. I don't care if they bring somebody in right now and pay them $50 million for 1 year. That's still the checkbook's still closed. The checkbook is closed for the future years. Unless it's a guy like Minka Fitzpatrick who may get something. Zealer was the shocker to me. Yeah, Zealer was the shocker to me. Because I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, but don't you think though, with a Sealer, you still need cornerstones to rebuild the new structure, and at least that's the kind of guy you want to.
Cornerstones are only good if you take the whole journey with them. Okay, if we fail this year, which is highly likely, and that just means I don't care how many games you win, you get bounced in the first round. They get a new GM and a new coach, right? Now that coach and GM, obviously Tyreek's gone, Chubb's gone. They probably not going to re-sign Phillips. A lot of people are, and all of these 1 year guys are on the exodus.
Oh yeah, there's like a 70%. There's like a 70% roster turnover.
So you're going to get a new GM and a new coach and a new culture, just like the Jets. And they're going to be like, hey, the next year is going to be a year of let me evaluate everything. We can even deal with Tua one more year. Let me evaluate everything though, right? And make a few moves here and there, nothing special. And then say, hey, all right, we know what we have. We want to keep that guy, not that one. Let's start shipping them off. Now let's build this. So 2 years from now, you're starting your build. That's this year, next year, and then starting your build year is 3 years. Zealer has no more guarantees after that, and then he's gone. He's 35 or 4 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So
you're right.
So don't give me cornerstone. Cornerstones are what you build around to win it. When you're ready to do it all, when you're ready to do the big goal, that cornerstone is there. So
essentially, they've signed Sealer to. Sorry to cut you off, but essentially they've signed Sealer to the hopeful year, the teardown year, and the rebuild year, and then he's out of there.
And remember, there's usually 2 years of a rebuild, unless you find if you're doing it right, guy at the position of quarterback, right?
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
So my whole thing is, would it not have been more profitable to trade him for maybe a 3rd round pick, and not only trade him from a 3rd round pick, but now you're saving. Well, how much did he get paid? $20 million.
I think he got $36 million in new money that he's going to get guaranteed. $36 million over the next 3 years.
What was the deal? What was the deal again?
I can't recall off the top of my head.
I think it was 22 or something like that total
per year.
Yeah.
It's around 20, right?
Yeah. I think it was around 20 something million per year. For the next 3 years.
Give me a 3rd round pick and $20 million for the next 3 years. Like, do we know how far that can go?
Well, maybe that's where they'll be. Maybe he'll be one of these tradable assets.
No. I mean, his deal's too fresh. You're eating too much dead cap. You just wasted money. You're throwing away money if you're moving off next year.
Well, if you're tanking, not having money in a year for at least one of those years isn't really a problem.
Yeah, but again, why did you do it? You wasted Stephen Ross's money.
Well, therein lies the other bit of logic that is really skewed in the management. It seems like everyone is so chummy, and I get it. You want a good working environment. You want everyone to feel comfortable around each other. You want all these things, but they're taking their work atmosphere over precedent, over results. They think having good positive vibes are going to positively vibe you into results, and that just isn't the fact. Give me someone who hates everybody but is the best in his. I would rather have 53 guys that all hated each other if it meant they're winning Super Bowls than everyone that's holding hands and clapping for each other when they're losing. I'm not interested in that no more. We've done this nice, soft atmosphere all the way around. And it has bared not one playoff victory in the Stephen Ross era. And look at what he's done over and over. New coach, first-time head coach hire after first-time head coach hire. You get one guy that's an offensive guy. You counterbalance it with a defensive guy. You counterbalance it with this one. It is a swinging pendulum where I've only seen, the only success I've seen this team have is profit. That's the only success. And I'm getting a little bit on a tangent with the Stephen Ross thing, but when are the fans going to stop, for lack of a better term, clapping those cheeks for all the things the Dolphins are telling them they're going to do rather than applauding them for what they're getting done? Because there's nothing to applaud for the end result. It's all about what they're promising they're going to do. If this was any woman we were dating, then no. Are you kidding? All these lies and anyone dating anyone who did all this, no one would ever stand for this type of disrespect that we do because we love this team. It's really a shame that there's the accountability that some of us Dolphin fans and us creators want to have this team, find. There's so many people out there willing to dive in front of them and protect them. And I get it. I'm not mad at those people because they love their team. But
Do they?
I don't know what they love, man. I don't get it.
Stop. Like to me, they love wanting to be right.
Yes.
Even though it's showing you right in your face you're wrong. But you know what? I'm going to go down with the ship on being wrong and using the banner of I'm cheering for my team. Like, stop. At the end of like people need to stop that disingenuous lie at the end of the day. Good and well, if you applied it to your personal life, you would not view it the same way. You just really want to get on people like me because we're saying the truth. Like for instance, what we were just talking about with Sealer, right? Xavier Howard is your proof. Who is out here banging the table? Do not give Xavier Howard the money, get a draft pick, and keep your money. We could have had a whole nother draft pick and all that money every year. And what ended up happening? We kept him for another 2.5 years. And then
we watched the product decline.
He's a
for real estate.
First. So what did you get? All the people who call me an idiot and stupid wanting to trade our best players. What did you get from Xavier Howard his last 2.5 years in Miami?
Not worth the salt. And it's kind of odd to think a real estate guy like Ross doesn't understand when to sell high, and buy low. It's incredible that he's so good at real estate, but not seeing his products per player as real estate products in that way.
But it's not his fault. This is the problem. Like, and this will be a good conversation, y'all, Cap. The structure of football with owners, right? So you take a Stephen Ross, who's not a football guy. He's a businessman. Any businessman that doesn't know anything about a specific category or whatever, right? What do? All right, I'm gonna throw money at it. I'm gonna get the best that I can get.
Right.
So you hire the best you can get, and hey, they're some of the best in the industry according to resumes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when those people are wrong, they are able to show you we failed at our coach. We need to get another coach. 4 years down the drain. Let's go get it. As a businessman, okay, thanks for giving me the analysis of the team I own. A new coach. Oh, okay, you just got a new coach. I see that. All right. 3 more years, it's not working. Our general manager, he ain't working out for us. As a businessman, all right, I get it. Let's go get that general manager. Let's get another one. 3 more years pass. We dealing with injuries. We got to find a franchise quarterback. Okay, whatever expense, what we got to trade, whatever we got to do to go get a quarterback. 3 more years. See, for an owner that doesn't know ball, it could be 20 years before he realized, hey, it might be y'all. The ones consulting me.
Right.
The ones at the top that's allowing all of this and coming to me with a new reason of why it didn't work, and we continue to change it and fire and replace. It might be y'all. And that's what he doesn't realize yet. It's going to take another 10 years before he get there. Because I'm sorry, some of this stuff is common sense. Some of this stuff is common sense. Y'all allowing this organization to make some of the most worrisome, probable decisions you can make. Tua Tagovailoa, you gave this man the money and ain't even gave you one healthy season out of 5.
I'll never understand.
And you gave him
that,
the
bro.
money.
I'll never understand that.
You like, how do you allow that? But Stephen Ross, you got to be disconnected to allow that.
Well, I gotta imagine this, right? Stephen Ross puts his head in the sand when it comes to the failures of the team, as long as the numbers on the charts at the the quarterly business meetings show that we are profiting. He has profited off. Now, this is just in value of the team. He's made over $7 billion in value on the team. I think it's like $7.7 billion. He bought it for 1.1. The team's at 8.8 right now. And that doesn't include all the money he's made off it since then. I know, I understand we can say, because he's not a football guy, to hold him accountable for football decisions. But I think the modus operandi has always been to make this profitable and not make it about winning, because that's the only thing I've seen.
Well, yeah, that's an easy sell. It's going to be profitable. Every team in the NFL pretty much is profitable.
But I think no matter what, and this proves my point, when they pulled the plug quickly on Flores, and there was all that pressure with him into a Tagovailoa and stuff like that. They chose the quicker, more profitable route rather than the long road traveled to build a really tough organization. Now, I get it. Brian Flores had his own hand and writing his own ticket, but we do know how that kind of happened. It was pressure inside the building, pressure around the building. He didn't want to go with Tua, said we could never get it done. They wanted him to make it work because the numbers and profit was there, not listening to the football guy saying it won't get us to the pinnacle of what we want is a Super Bowl. And to them, they prioritize profits over Super Bowl. It is just time and time again. And I don't know if we're ever going to get it fixed as long as Ross is here, because he's not losing any money. The fans are still buying. The jerseys are still selling. And this team is, as on it as ever. So real quick, I want to grab
ban quarterbacks from wearing the number 1.
Shout out to Night Wolf. He says the NFL definitely made the league softer while making it safer, ironically. Today's NFL player is not conditioned as well to sustain the season. 6 weeks of camp opposed to 2 weeks from Shula era. That's the truth. Like, kind of, you break these guys down, you find out what they're made of, and all that stuff gets there. You don't pay a guy till he's out of camp. Back in those days, you want to get paid. You got paid before the season started or at the end of the season, not holding out of camp. You hold out of camp, you're fired. Back in those days, they didn't let that get away.
Well, they're going to have these owners screaming for to make the UFL a minor league pretty soon, man.
I know. That's actually a good way to really combat a G League, minor league type of thing.
You have 5 quality backups at every position. That's about the only way to do it.
Brad Boss says, let's be honest, guys. This feels like the end of the Adam Gase era, too. Too many ifs, too many mistakes, too many bad contracts. That's kind of where we're at.
Let me tell y'all something. I'm not ruling out a possibility that's going to suck for all of us. This team go win 10 games, make a wild card, and win the first round, and then get bounced. And all of it gets the green light for another 3 years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not likely because of our schedule and everything. But if a person get hurt here or there and some luck happen, I'm telling you, man, your worst fear.
That coincides with what you're saying about Ross.
See, people will say, "Oh, you're rooting for us to lose." Why would that be our worst fear?
Right.
Because
this is different than any other offseason.
We're never gonna win a Super Bowl like this, and we're never gonna win a Super Bowl with Tua Tagovailoa. I truly believe that. I hope I'm wrong, but we aren't. So we can keep playing this like I got Omar to talk about, right? We can keep on playing this pony show and keep on recycling and keep on doing it. This whole thing needs to be burnt down. And at the end of the day, I'm not rooting for us to lose, but I do understand that us giving a false flag of winning and getting bounced in the second round would be worse for us.
Well, what you're actually rooting for is for this whole thing to be exposed for what it is to the owner.
Yeah, and so that we can hopefully get to better days sooner.
Yeah, what you're asking for is real honesty.
Yeah,
Enough of this nonsense. Enough of us plugging up all the holes in this boat. Let it sink so we can get a new boat. It's time. It's been a rough go of it, and again, now to double back quickly, and we're gonna wrap it up soon. I know you got to get going. When you make a cornerstone player like Zach Sealer, at least that's the type of guy with the work ethic, the type of character, the type of, lunch pail team player and guy. At least that's the archetype that you're like, this is who we want. As we had 53 of these guys, we're a better football team than most. And maybe that was the thinking, but I got to be honest. I think it's more of, hey, we want to take care of these guys because it's how we feel is good. It's not the right business. It's not the right football decision. It's the right thing to do. And it is a fine line because I want Zach Sealer to get paid. I love the guy. I think he's been wildly underpaid. But we've seen this. They're constantly paying guys for back production or paying guys for projected production rather than paying guys for what it is. For what it is. It's just an odd way to do business. And this is what you end up.
Production.
Yeah, imagined production. Yeah, a creative production with these PFF numbers of what could have happened when the wind didn't blow on 3rd and 10. I mean, what are we doing?
Especially when they could have paid for actual production, such as AVG, who we let go, and look what happened. I'm sorry. I will never forgive the front office for letting AVG go. I will not.
And I'm there with you too, Ali, because if we're talking about guys that deserve whatever they're getting and that's a bargain, your own AVG's the guy. TD, man, I appreciate it, my brother. It's been way too long since we had you come on. We're going to have to do it again and not so long.
And then hopefully you guys can come visit me sometime, man.
Hey, man, you let me know. I'll roll up anytime, anywhere. You tell me I'm coming.
You say, man.
I'll bring the
I'll
bring the cooler.
Remember you said that. You better remember you said
anywhere, anytime. You already know that. You got my number. You hit me up. You need me to hold down the fort. If I can squeeze it, you know I will, my brother. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Can I give one shout out to somebody in your chat?
Absolutely.
All right. So quick shout out to Nene. From me to you, keep winning, sis. All right. I'm proud of you. I'm happy to see some of the things you're doing. Keep winning. All right. So salute to her. All right.
Yep. Appreciate everybody coming by. TD, thank you again, man. We'll have to do this again. We won't leave such a lull in it like we did last time, man. We'll link up. And again, my brother, you need anything, you holler at me. All right.
And don't forget, TD Phins Talk and the Phins Tailgate is family. All right.
That's it, baby. We appreciate you.
All
right, guys. Take it easy, everybody.